When your job is to drive really fast and you're really proficient at it, you're a professional race driver.
Dario Franchitti, a 3-time winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I always wonder what those sorts of people actually want to own and use as road cars. What cars do they choose to spend their own money on, and why? Well, this has been a long time in the making, but today we are coming to look at the garage of a bloke who has gone to America and conquered IndyCar racing, a Scottish bloke who I can call a friend, Dario Franchitti. This is something I've been wanting to come and see for a long time, his recently finished garage. So come on and let's have a look at a car cave that could be the car cave of car caves. I'm Jonny Smith, you're watching The Late Break Show, and this episode is proudly sponsored by Duramat. But not only that, Dario now works with Gordon Murray Automotive as the development driver for the high-revving Cosworth V12 3-abreast seating T50 supercar and its track-focused derivatives. So today, we're going to tour his car cave, showing you the ins and the outs of his incredible collection. Ah,
Dear boy,
it's really good to see you.
how are you?
Yeah, we must tell the viewers how long we've been trying to organise this.
2 years?
It's got to be. It's got to be 2 years.
I could look back at my WhatsApp messages,
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
But the garage wasn't actually built then.
It's not a garage. It's a bloody...
It's my office. I work really hard in
So
here.
you do it... Well, yeah, let's have a look. So, I mean, because it's just exceptional. So you've got all your trinkets.
They're not trinkets, Johnny. Those are helmets.
Well, helmets.
So these are helmets, and up in Scotland, all the helmets that a lot of the ones I raced with, there's a lot of them there. These are the important ones. There's a sort of the championship in the 500 winning helmets, Indy 500 helmets.
This is great because I can see the important trophies just here.
Yeah, I brought the Borg Warner trophies. These are the baby Borgs, they're called. And when you win the Indy 500,
they're the baby
Borgs, because the big Borg Warner trophy is about yay big.
Yeah.
And it's got the likeness of every winner
Yeah.
on it. The championship ones are in Scotland. There's just not enough space here for all the crap that I want to put in.
So do you you don't live in the States anymore, do you?
No.
But you lived in the States for quite a long time.
I was there for 15 years, yeah. It was in Nashville.
That long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then came back 2013, end of 13.
Right.
Yeah. And I was in Scotland for a bit. We were in the middle of London for a bit, and then we ended up here.
So cool. So you're at your desk having a productive day, because obviously you're really productive.
Very productive.
Yeah, and there's a box of keys in front of you, and then you look left while you're on the phone, and you go,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks extraordinary.
This is I spend a lot of time in here thinking, actually. This is, if we're doing with the Gordon Murray stuff, if I'm thinking about a particular problem, I tend to literally just sit and look at the different cars, and it sort of jogs my mind of stuff that's happened in the past, or solutions that we've come up with before, or, yeah. But then I love it all. On my Gordon Murray stuff, I've got one of the original drawings for T50.
Have you?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. That's great.
That was my Christmas present from Gordon.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a Gordon shrine. And
Well, working with Gordon's got to be pretty cool.
it doesn't suck. It's so much fun when we get to just sit down and talk about future cars. And those conversations go off piste all the time. But talking about what we're doing, the current stuff, the future cars, and then we get sidetracked. But it's just he's a hero of mine.
Yeah.
So to spend hours with him, it's an absolute privilege.
He's good company.
Isn't he though?
I'm very fortunate to have done a couple of videos with him, and when I have, he's always been really good value. It's nice to see that you got a little bit of winter kit building to be done.
Oh, there's more in the cupboards.
Are you a Lego person?
Oh, I love.
Are you?
Yeah, there's F40s. There's.
What do you mean you build an F40? There's a flipping F40 just here. You could just touch it and kiss it and actually drive it.
I know, but you get to build it.
I didn't realise that you'd had this car so long.
I think it was May 15th, not to be specific, 1999.
1999, so you've had it a really long time.
Yeah, I bought it, I was 25 at the time. I was a kid.
Whoa.
And I adored it, like all of us. I adored this car.
Yeah.
It was on my wall. They had the posters. I read all the road tests, all that stuff. And I'd gone through different cars. Once I started making a few quid out of driving racing cars. My first was a 3.2 Speedster, which I loved, but I always wanted a Ferrari.
Yeah.
So I sold it to buy a 348, a yellow 348, which was an absolute dreadful car.
Really?
It did nothing well. It was just crap. Then I bought a yellow Testarossa. Colourblind Miami Vice.
Colourblind Miami Vice. I flipping love yellow cars anyway, but a yellow Testarossa, I don't think I've ever seen one.
It was right-hand drive. Everything, the other one was left, but it was right-hand drive, and it didn't stand out at all in Scotland in the 90s.
No.
You know, a 21-year-old driving about the yellow Testarossa. But again, I wanted this.
Yeah.
By 99, I could afford to buy this. And so did the usual, put a wanted ad in the Times.
What?
Yeah, a friend of mine, Howard, is a dealer, and I said to him I wanted one. He said, I'll put a wanted ad in the Times. So that's what we did. And he phoned me. I was racing in Brazil, and he phoned me and said, I've been to inspect this car. It's the one. It's 4,000 miles. It's a one-owner UK car, and it's perfect.
One owner, 4,000.
4,000 miles, and then I had to wait until July to actually drive it because I was racing, so busy racing and testing.
You couldn't get here?
Couldn't get here. It came off the truck at Glasgow Airport. My dad was there because I needed somebody to take all the bags home.
Yeah.
My dad was there, and this thing comes off a truck, and he's like, crikey, I wonder whose that is. And then I had to declare that I'd bought the F40.
Oh my gosh.
I think in equal parts he was proud and probably slightly horrified at what I'd done. And then the clutch blew up on the way home.
Actually, the first drive home?
Yeah, because I think the makeup of the clutch, if they sit for a long time, it's not good for them. And I thought it was wheel spin at first.
And then you realised, sadly not.
No, it wasn't.
Is it still exciting now?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, back when I got this, again, I was 25 years old, driving Indycars with 1,000 horsepower. Even then, and even today, every time I get in it and I drive it somewhat spiritedly, I don't get out without a little shake.
It's still that much of an animal.
It's that much of an animal.
Bloody hell.
It's brilliant. It was here for a while. I had it down here close to London, and I kind of fell out of love with it because I was driving it. I'd get in it and I'd go for a drive, and I'd go, down to visit a friend of mine, or end up driving it round the M25 to see, maybe go to Joe McCarry or something, and I'm thinking, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It's just not what it was for. So I sent it back to Scotland.
Yeah.
I maybe drive it 2 or 3 times a year, but my God.
On proper roads.
And I've fallen back in love with it. So it comes down for the winter. It gets its service. I get to look at it, and then it'll go back up to Scotland soon.
But the thing is about this now is, like, my son is 13 and loves sports and supercars like any young lad. And he told me the other day his favourite car is an F40. And I'm really surprised. I'm impressed, but I'm also surprised because I'm thinking, I assumed it would be something new.
It's clearly a man of taste.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's kept the interest. There's certain cars, I think, have kept people's interest, no matter what generation they're from.
Agree.
And I think it's done it. As I say, I adore it.
This is a Franchitti family heirloom now.
It probably is.
Before we talk about the other cars here and the ones that you've got in Scotland in your, what's the place called again?
The I Love Me building.
I Love Me building that he's had built. What do you drive every day?
A G-Wagon.
That one that I've just walked past?
The big green G-Wagon, yes. It almost looks black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to drive a G.
So Gordon hates it. Gordon absolutely hates it. The first day I showed up in it, I walked into the boardroom for our meeting we were having. He had his readers on, and he looks up above the readers and he said, "Please tell me you're joking."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like Captain Lightness.
Oh yeah.
You turn up in a G63.
I just said to him, it's just a big Suzuki Jimny. He drives a Jimny every day, and I said, it's just a big Jimny.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not. I like firepower, not necessarily using it. I mean, where the hell do you use it now?
But this is the problem.
Yeah, but I like to know I've got a bit of go if I need it.
Yeah. Let's go over here. Before we talk about the car, colour, let's talk about colour.
Yes.
Because I know you're a red guy.
that goes back to why do I love cars? It's more my dad's fault, and his choice of cars, and it goes back to 1980. He bought a 911 Turbo, and in very cool fashion, it cost more than our house did.
Did it?
Yeah, it was like a multiple of what he paid for a house, which I just thought was, even back then, I was like, yeah, cool.
Whoa.
And it was guard red.
Yeah.
So I've always adored red cars, especially guard red. It got to the mad stage. I think I had 7 911s at one point, and they were all guard red. Actually, there was one white. The 911R was white with guard red stripes. But
Bloody hell.
aye.
So your dad's old Turbo, which wasn't old at the time.
Yeah. So he had it. He bought it in 1980. Sold it about a year and a half, 2 years later. Spent that money on my racing. So the nice thing of that was I managed to find the car. I was always fascinated about what happened to the car.
Yeah.
And
You must have been gutted that he sold it.
I was devastated.
But he sold it for you, basically.
He sold it for me, yeah, which he didn't obviously say at the time.
No.
But yeah, and I often wondered what happened to it. Where did it go? And I was even thinking, have I got any pictures of that car? I wanted to put a picture of him. And I'm talking when I'm 25, 30 years old. But I found it on the front of Classic Car magazine. Bizarrely enough, it was that car. So chased it to an auction. It was Silverstone Auctions at the time. It went through there, I bought it, and Mark Sumpter at Paragon and his team there restored it to within an inch of its life. And Marino and I got to play around in it for a little while before Dad knew, and then I stuck it in the garage in Scotland with a cover on it, and
you gave it to him?
I gave it back to him. So
that's so cool.
So that was cool, and he uses it.
Yeah.
He continues the family tradition of not driving it in the wet or the salt.
Yeah.
But he takes it to the golf course. He's got a cover for his passenger seat, and he puts his golf clubs in the passenger seat, and he heads to the golf course.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
That's like it closes the circle almost, doesn't it?
It does, and I adore that car.
Carrera GT. The position of the gear knob in relation to the steering wheel is still a thing for me. I absolutely love that. That's extra special.
They're an interesting car.
They're quirky.
They are quirky. I hated them at first.
Yeah.
Not disliked, hated.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the point, all the stories of them being nervous and all that. My old teammate, Tony Canan, had one.
Yeah.
And we were going to a test in it. He lived in Miami. We were going to the circuit in Miami. And we weren't going particularly fast. I was in the passenger seat, and this thing snapped on him. And he really wasn't pushing it. And I just thought, I want no part of this. And so for a long time, I had a bit of a, not even a love-hate, just a hate relationship. I just thought, nah, they're not for me.
Yeah.
And in Tennessee, my friend Jazz had a silver one. And he said, you should really try it. Come on, try it. We'll go for a drive, you try it. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the intricacies of driving it. And on the original sort of spec of tyre, it was not an easy car to drive.
No.
I spun this.
Did you?
Not going particularly quick either.
And a few got destroyed on the launch, because I remember I was on Car Magazine and we received a phone call from the staff member who shall remain nameless, who was on that launch.
Oh.
And had an incident.
Yeah, they were not an easy thing to drive.
And as an accomplished driver, maybe you want like a lion to tame a little bit.
Yeah,
not every day, but
not every day. But you look at these things, and I love the challenge of them. I love a car that it keeps asking questions of you. And the Gordon Murray car. We were talking about it earlier, but everything I've done with that, and whether it's T50, T33, the driving experience, I've tried to help direct that based on my experience of all different cars. The good thing with that is it's Jekyll and Hyde. You can drive it slowly, and it's completely placid.
Yeah.
But you start getting up towards its limit, it asks questions of you. It doesn't get boring. That's the thing, these cars, they don't get boring.
So this is your reference point for the Gordon Murray cars?
Yeah. Every car I've driven, every experience, good and bad, I've tried to use that.
That's interesting.
To direct. I've driven it once with a roof on.
Once?
Once.
So this normally just sits somewhere?
It sits in the front.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it sits in the front.
Right.
And I've literally driven it once. I took it to Le Mans. Marino and I took it to Le Mans in 2014.
Yeah.
And we had our underwear stuffed in the door pockets. There's little door pockets here. Marino had a bag under his legs with things between the driver and the passenger.
Is there just no storage?
There's no storage at all.
Wow.
Absolutely no storage.
It's just very un-Porsche-like in that respect.
Yeah, but it's such a no-compromise car.
Yeah.
And they kind of, I think they missed it. You know, the mid-mounted radiators, that takes away some of your storage space.
Yeah.
The roof in the front. But it was a great trip to Le Mans. It was still on Tennessee plates at that point. And I had a little USA badge on the back, and it was great for speed cameras. But I've loved this car. I bought it in 2010. What I would do if I won a race,
Yeah.
especially if you win like the 500, it's pretty decent prize money. I'd
Yeah.
go buy cars. I
Would
would
you
always
really?
reward myself with cars.
But you said to me earlier, when you win the Indy, you get a pace car.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's part of the prize package.
Yes, it's part of the prize package. So in Scotland, there's an 07 Corvette, a 2010 Camaro, and a 2012 Corvette 427 with the old 7-litre in it.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they're cool, but they get driven up and down the drive in Scotland. None of them are road registered in the UK.
Aren't they?
No, to be honest, it's got loads of stickers on it, and it's just a bit out there.
Do you like American cars?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. It's funny, you go to Detroit, you realise why muscle cars are the way they are, because there's literally no corners on the roads at all. But I have a real love affair with, I love any kind of car. I love everything about the automobile and everything that surrounds it.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the more I realise what a huge part of my life it's played.
Oh, massive.
Yeah, and I love being able to enjoy it.
Yeah. That red Fiat behind you. So why this? Because again, this is something you've had a long time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This car it was in getting a load of work done recently, and I was in there talking with Phil, who runs the service shop, and I just started giggling. And he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I said, "I'm just remembering some of the stories with this car." So I bought this car in October '97. My first sort of big paycheck for racing. I got a signing bonus.
Yeah.
And I went straight out and bought this, which cost 3 times what the flat I was living in Scotland cost.
Really?
Yeah. Again, my poor parents were, I'm sure, it's a part proud and part just like, what the hell
you
is
doing?
wrong with this guy? There's just something wrong. But unusually, I mean, I drove this thing in the snow. It wasn't a daily driver, but I drove it in all conditions because I travelled so much that when I came home, I wanted to use it.
Yeah.
So I've spent an absolute fortune getting it all put right again, having driven it in the winter
Scottish
time.
elements.
The Scottish elements, rear subframe, radiators, and suspension, dampers, springs, all recoated, engine covers recoated, everything.
So this is nostalgic.
This is nostalgia.
You spent more money on it than it's probably worth.
On multiples.
Really?
There's a service book in there, it's like that. But it's little things like the roof was intermittent.
Yeah.
That's been fixed. It's got the original radio with a 10 disc in it. Oh. And
10 disc multi-changer.
10 disc, and that's now working again.
I'm trying to think about what 90s Dario was like in this.
Oh, yeah.
But you had some 90s Oakleys on.
I think these are Revos, but
What you've got on there? You have! Almost like we planned it. They've been in there all this time.
Yeah. It's still got the gloves it's got the white gloves that you got from Ferrari. It's a time warp.
Why do they give you white gloves? They think you're going to play championship snooker?
They might. What? There's a Ferrari. I never knew this was in here. That's never been out of the car. That's got a Ferrari ratchet.
How bizarre. Look, Ferrari snooker gloves. These weren't for driving, these were for doing any maintenance.
And you can tell, when I checked the tyre pressures, I wore them.
Of course you did.
The steering wheel's changed. I changed the steering because it had that horrible airbag wheel. So I put a little Momo on it, and I got them to disable the warning light on the airbag.
So you do mod cars?
I do mod. The F40's got, again, steering wheel, dampers because they kept trying to kill me,
Yes.
and exhaust. This has got exhaust as well.
Has it?
Yeah, it's got straight. Actually, it's got a little silencer on this one, but it's quite loud. That's straight piped. The Integrale is completely standard.
What, the whole car,
The
everything?
whole car is completely standard.
Now, we all aspire to have a garage or a shed as a place for kind of vehicle worship. One of the best things you can do is to put a decent flooring system down, and that's where the sponsor of this video, Duramat, come in, because they're the UK leaders for interlocking floor tiles. You can either have large ones, small ones, thick or thin ones, even vented ones. And in this case, you can have personalised pictures and images printed on them, and they do a variety of different colours. These are all made in the UK from 100% recycled fibres, and you can have these edges that can be colour matched as well, these little ramped edges and corner units here. Makes a massive difference to the way your home gym or your home office or your shed or your car garage looks and feels. And I did mine myself with just a hammer and some time to myself. It was really, really good. It makes the place look awesome. This is an absolutely glorious colour.
Thank you.
Well, and the interior as well.
So I forgot about this, by the way. This old 355. Marino and I, my brother, drove it to Monaco one night on a whim from Scotland.
Okay, on a whim.
Just on a whim. I had a broken back at the time, so I wasn't driving. And we were at a Glasgow Celtic match, and it was about midnight. And for some reason, I said, should we go to Monaco, visit McNish? That's a good idea. So we went home, got our bags, stuck them in the front, and headed off, which sounds great, but we got to about Manchester, and because it's got the slightly loud exhaust, we were taking bits of newspaper and putting them in our ears. By the time we got to just before Monaco, we were hating life and hating the car. But those two
You idiots!
Oh,
you idiots!
but those 2 tunnels before Monaco,
Yeah.
it made it all better. But then by the time we got home, the car needed a full rebuild.
Really?
Dampers, the whole thing, it was knackered. Yeah, back through Germany.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, that was a good trip. But again, to me, these cars are about the memories and the stories that you've got from them, but that they create all these trips, all these people you meet. It's
the more I do this job, the more I realise the importance of that. So, Singer.
The Singer.
Now, your brother works for Singer, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So at what point did you go, hey Marino, I think I'm going to order one of these? Or did you know from the get-go?
I wanted one for a long time.
Yeah.
I saw those first cars, the first car that Rob did, and I just thought, oh, that's a bit of me.
Yeah.
You know, I love a 911.
Yeah.
And 993s and everything are great, but this was probably the last one that you could trace back to the original with the shape, the 964. It was so much fun to spec it. It was originally supposed to be dark green.
Was it?
Yeah. And then I had
Which is also a cool colour.
Which is also a cool colour.
Yeah.
But I had an Aston that was in this kind of shade. It's called Copy Bronze. I had a Vanquish, a 2013 Vanquish in this colour, and I love it.
Yeah.
But then we modified it a bit. Various people helped me with just. I didn't like when the sun hit it, and it looked kind of like a bass boat. So we took metallic out.
You didn't want the metal flaky kind of feel?
No. So we took the metallic out and put pearlescence in it. And then we named it after my teammate Scott Dixon, because we tease him about dyeing his hair. Apparently he doesn't actually dye his hair, but this is very similar to the colour that his red hair has gone as he's aged. So I'm
not getting involved in that beef. No.
But the specking process
Yeah.
was so much fun.
Yeah.
There's little nods, like the dark brown dash top is the same as Dad's turbo. I wanted a sunroof.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you ordered it with a sunroof, because I really like steel sunroofs.
Right.
In cars. I just do.
And the noise that a 911 sunroof makes, they go really quick too back.
Yeah.
But that noise, it reminds me of being 7 years old in my dad's 911 turbo. Oh. I still push the button, back it goes. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
There I am. So it was an absolute joy to spec it. There was bits I wanted to change. I changed the gear knob. I put like a 959 gear knob on it.
Yeah. Bloody hell in here, Dario. I mean, gosh, it smells amazing. It is so. It's a proper tactile place, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. And it's new. The seats are made out of nubuck, which is probably a little soft for a seat.
Yeah.
The kids have to wear hazmat suits if they go within a mile of this car. But as you can see, I've got the second bolster here, so Sophia gets in it and she can see above the dash.
Yeah.
But
wow, that's so nice.
Yeah, even the door cards, they're very different. They're 3.2 door cards from a 911, as opposed to the Singer door cards, because I wanted more storage space.
Yeah. There's a lot of resto modding that goes on with classic shape 911s, and some people are finding it a bit tiresome. But there's a reason why it's happening. This is a car that's not very big, but it's pretty potent and really communicative. And
yeah.
I guess you've experienced sort of the ultimate configuration.
Yeah, I did different things to this as well. I narrowed up the wheels. When it showed up, it had a more stretched look.
Yeah.
Rob loves the tyre to be really stretched over the wheel.
Yeah.
So I had them move the wheel, narrow the wheel half an inch on the inside, so the sidewall's a bit straighter.
Yeah.
To help the compliance a little bit. It's got the engine that Porsche Motorsport in America built so it's one of I think about 20-something cars that had that. So it's got a bit more oomph.
I bloody bet it has.
It's lovely. I'll show you the engine bay.
Yeah, please do. Under these lights, it looks just so glossy and.
But it's almost like this is a bit of a sort of a chocolate type, Yeah, and then you look in there. I mean, it's nuts.
It is nuts.
Got leather lined.
Oh, that's pervy, Dario. That's leather in the engine bay. It's pervy. Every time I see an Integrale, it's the stockiness which gets me. It's got that real bulldog kind of squat,
doesn't it?
Yeah, like a short guy who's a bit of a pub fighter. Yeah, don't mess with him. He'll do you.
Definitely. I don't know if it's an age thing. Yeah. I've always loved these.
Yeah.
I've always adored them. I remember going back to '92. I won the McLaren Autosport Young Driver. And at the time, I mean, I literally did not have enough money to put fuel in the car to go home from a track. It was like proper hand to mouth. I win the award, prizes, a test in McLaren, and 20 grand. And I got back to the table and I sit down and I turned to my dad and I said, right, I'm buying an Integrale. And he said, you're fucking not. That was the end of that discussion.
So you see, that's as close as you'd got.
Yeah, and I don't know why I never bought one.
No, I was going to say, because they were still in production then.
Yeah, exactly right. Right through, and even late 90s, gone down in price.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't buy one. I've always absolutely adored them. And this one, we were skiing in Switzerland, and a pal of mine, Mark, he shows up in his red Integrale with skis on the roof.
Oh.
And he pulls up to the hotel, the W in Verbier, and there's literally a Bugatti Veyron parked there. In this red Integrale, and people are walking past. And this lady of a certain age said, "Oh my goodness, I had one of those when I was a young girl. Are they as much fun as I remember?" I said, yeah. And I'm just looking at this car, going, whoa. Anyway, Mark goes off to buy a ski pass. I'm standing there. By the time he's come back, I've phoned Joe Macari and said, "You've got that blue Integrale, haven't you?" He's like, "Yeah, do you want to sell it?" He said, "No, I want to keep that for myself." I said, "Oh, come on." So anyway, by the time Mark has come back with his ski pass, I bought this.
Really?
Yeah.
What, just stood at a ski resort staring at your mate's car?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
It was, and I'd love it. But
yeah.
People that don't know,
yeah,
they go, what's this?
Well, it's because it's the awkward-looking homologation car, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks like a shopping car. It looks like you've bought a 90s shopping car. You know, oh no, it's special. Really?
Yeah.
But the people that know fall over themselves. But it's not particularly quick. It moves around a lot. It rattles. I mean, even the dash rattles are unbelievable. You've got to change the steering wheel so you can get your knees under it.
Yes, that's true.
Put some dish on it.
But this is standard.
This car's completely standard.
Yeah.
Unusual for me. The steering wheel's different, but unusual for me that everything else is standard. Back to standard springs, dampers, no extra boost. Exhaust is fully standard, and I think it's better for it.
When I did a video a year or two ago on the Motoro, the guys in the Netherlands who make resto mods of these, and that's the last one I drove. So it's been a while since I've driven a standard one. It's such an exciting car, pretty frantic.
It's cool. I take it to. This is the one car I drive in the winter.
Really? You drive an 80s Lancia in the winter?
Well, it's got an undercoating.
Oh, has it? You better bloody hope it has.
This went to Walkers, and the guys at Walkers did a full undercoat. Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be a pile of rust, isn't it?
Yeah. So it doesn't disappoint. Having wanted one all those years.
It doesn't. It does not disappoint. There's part of me wants to put the inch bigger wheels on it.
Yeah.
Because they look better.
Yeah.
But I bet it drives worse.
Yeah.
So I might just break the habits of a lifetime and leave it standard.
Right, Timothy Dalton spec, James Bond, right? Yeah. That's what they remind me of.
Is that right?
Living Daylights. That's what it reminds me of.
Well, I suppose it does. Recently, obviously, it was in the last Bond film, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. That's right.
I was at Goodwood a couple of years ago, and Marek Reichman, he's head of design now, his title at Aston.
Yeah.
I saw him and he said, "You're going to like the new Bond film," because he knew I had this.
Right.
And it appeared in it. This is another one. I used to take the piss out of people that owned these because the bonnets were generally up on them.
Yeah.
And they were broken.
Well, that's sort of true.
You know, they had such a sort of a dodgy reputation.
Yeah. What have you done to this then?
I don't know why I fell in love with it, first of all. I think it was the look. I love that sort of muscle car look about it.
Yeah.
The first thing I took it to RS Williams, who modify it essentially. So it's a bit of a resto mod, this car.
Which means it starts and stops and steers.
And you can sit in traffic
in
a summer's day. You've got air conditioning that works, and it doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
And it's so important. You can drive it, if you're on the Autobahn, you can sit at 100 miles an hour, no problem.
Yeah.
And it doesn't overheat. It's just fantastic. But start at the front, brakes, suspension, cooling. Inside, actually had a nice stereo in it, but I've put a Bluetooth in it. The dashboard instruments, the dashboard lights have been upgraded.
Yeah. It looks really good, you know.
That's lovely. It was fully restored before I bought it.
Was it?
But this car was originally red.
Red?
Red, and it was apparently on the stand at the motor show.
Oh really? So it has got a bit of an interesting history.
It's got a bit of a history, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like this colour more than red.
I do too. I think this is a Rolls Royce colour.
Is it?
It's not actually an Aston colour.
I mean, it looks bloody amazing. Is this
straight pipes too?
I was going to say, what's the power? Is it standard sort of power?
It's not standard power. It was upgraded. It's not the 7 litre. You can get the RS Williams 7 litre. I've not done that to it. It's 5.9 or something.
Yeah. Pop the bonnet.
The bonnet. It's downdraft.
48s.
I think 48s.
They're big throats.
Yeah, it likes a gallon of fuel.
Yeah. It's a really attractive looking engine,
isn't it?
With these the twin snorkels into that huge airbox. And I'm looking at the carbs, bloody hell.
They're monster, aren't they?
Serious carburation going on.
Yeah.
You forget there's quad Webbers. Oh my gosh.
I love this sort of Victor Gauntlet area of Aston Martin, that moment in time when they were building these just mental cars. And then they went from this to the Zagato.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool. Again, the things that at the time were annoying about it, all these little problems they had, it's become character now.
Yeah.
We went on a bit of a road trip. Mark Webber, our friend Jonathan, and myself, they were both in 4 litre RS Porsches, and I was in this, the flying sofa. And I came around this corner, and there was a roundabout, and everybody was stopped. And you see, as I approach at warp factor 1,000,000, the 2 RSs do this because they think I'm going to steam through. But
they just take everybody out.
But the brakes are so good in it.
It works.
Just stopped. Yeah.
That's great.
It's a great thing.
I want to talk to you about motorcycle. Before we get on to the last car, the big one.
Aye.
I didn't know that you rode motorbikes.
I broke my back on a motorbike.
Oh,
yeah.
So you don't ride motorbikes?
Well, I do, bizarrely enough. I had an MV Agusta.
Yeah.
They did a Senna version, and I was desperate to get this bike, so it showed up, and I used to keep it at my house in Scotland.
Yeah.
And I would, if we had a party or whatever, we'd fire it up in the hall, and it would set the smoke detectors off, and the fire brigade would have to come, and it was really embarrassing. Anyway, I eventually rode it, and there was a failure on the engine, and it was sprayed oil into the fairing.
Oh shit.
And off I went, and yeah, so I've got metal on my back from about there to there.
Oh my God, so you were skidding down the road?
And I went over the handlebars and landed on the back of my head. And yeah, made a bit of a mess. So I was out of the car for a year.
Oh my God, so what year was that?
2003.
Right. So that was the one time you rode the MV Agusta?
That was I rode it twice. I rode it the day before, and then I rode it that day. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Oh shit. So have you ridden again?
Yeah, I ride these.
Do you?
So this Moto Guzzi is a kind of a custom bobber. It's actually about to go up to get a bunch of, it hasn't run in a while, so it's going to get a bunch of work done.
Road bikes, bicycles.
Bicycles, yeah.
So do you ride, I mean, I know a lot of athletes, racers.
I used to ride a lot.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with Trek, and they built these bikes for me. This one's got things like the carbon. If you look here, it's a disc.
Oh yeah.
Rather than, ridiculously expensive, but it was, yeah. So I used to ride a lot, and then with the roads are just so crap now.
I know.
And traffic
especially
is difficult.
for a bike with tyres like that.
Exactly. And then there's the Rally Burner, which is a Christmas gift.
I was going to ask you about the gold burner, just sitting there. I only saw it when we were talking about the Singer, and I glanced over and went, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's one of those things of when I was a kid, I could never get one.
No.
Too bloody expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
there was no way it was happening. So I saw they were doing a reintroduction of them, and I thought, yeah, I'll have one of them. So Ellie bought me that for the Christmas. I think I've ridden it once down the.
I'd like to see you wheelie that.
I reckon I could have a go.
Do you?
Yeah, I reckon I've a go at the wheelie.
Yeah, don't end up breaking your back, re-breaking your back.
I've done it, but I've done it again since then.
Of course.
Yeah, I've done it again. So
Well, don't go for a hat trick.
no, we'll give that a miss. And then this is Valentina's little go-kart. She got that for her 6th birthday.
This is nice.
And she blasts around the driveway and the horse paddock now. She hasn't worked out. She knows how to work the brakes.
Yeah.
She just doesn't like using them. She's flat out everywhere.
Really?
She's absolutely terrifying.
So just comes off the throttle to slow down?
If she even does that.
Right.
She hasn't actually reached, she's never hit a corner yet. She hasn't done flat out, which is a bit of a concern.
Because you've got 2 girls, right?
Yeah.
And they're both into this sort of stuff.
They love cars. They love this. They love Sophia's motorbike. She's got a little electric motorbike back there.
Oh, nice.
There's a wee 2-stroke Husky over there.
I saw that.
Yeah, they do that. They ski like fiends, and they ride horses. So just letting them do as much fun stuff as they can.
Yeah. We've saved the biggest till last. I was just double checking. That's big.
Nah,
but it's not this big.
No.
So what we'll do is we'll put it outside for some pretty shots, because really it's this profile of the car that makes it special, right? You only got this recently, didn't you?
I've had it about 2 weeks.
And it's not a very U car traditionally.
No, but
somehow it's freaking cool.
it might be my age. It's on winter tyres. It's on snow tyres.
Oh yeah.
So there's a roof box going on.
Yeah.
It's going to be colour coded to the car.
Yeah.
And we're going to take it to Switzerland skiing. This is going to be my ski car. You just have these mad flights of fancy.
Yes.
And I'd seen the car at Joe's showroom. I don't know how many times I sort of looked at it and thought, I love that. I just think it's amazing. And it just seemed complete stupidity to buy it. And
it's a one. Is it a one-off?
it's a one-off. Yeah, they made one shooting brake. It makes no sense, and I love it. And why not? If you can, why not?
I think these are the same guys, who did a Tesla shooting brake.
I think it is, and they did the bread van 550. Ferrari turned it into a bread van tribute as well.
Yeah.
The guy does really cool work.
Is the workmanship good?
Oh, it's beautiful. We'll go outside. I'll show you. But the roof's carbon.
Oh. Because the shape's mega.
Yeah.
I mean, I love an estate, But to have a suicide two-door Rolls estate is just bloody bonkers.
Very reliant scimitar.
Yeah. Do you like reliant scimitars?
Not really.
Oh, come on. I thought you were going to back me up there.
No, sorry.
This is cool. So this is going to get used?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a shooting brake, you know. I did that one in Scotland, that Rover, quite recently. And that Rover P6. Oh.
It's the way forward. The future is shooting brakes.
I hope you've enjoyed this Car Cave edition of the Late Break Show. I'm just going to say, if you haven't already watched the idle chat where I get the brown chairs out and make people important sit in them, I did one with Dario. And you should also, if you haven't already, listen to a podcast called Smith and Sniff, which is I'm half of that. He listens to it genuinely and messages me every week.
Be careful, it fries your brain. You find yourself coming out with stupid things at stupid points. But it is definitely, God, it's entertaining.
Yeah, well, there you go. I didn't pay him to say that.
I thought you were buying dinner.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, maybe.